this week? Well, our super panel is back to talk about it. RNC Communications Director Sean Spicer, GOP strategist Alice Stewart, and from the Washington Examiner, Byron York. Thank you all for sticking around. Byron, I'll start with you. What can this ticket, if everything goes well, the speech on Thursday night, prime time from the then official nominee, what kind of bounce can they expect?
Well, as much as all political junkies have been talking about the race and about Mitt Romney's choice of Paul Ryan, as much as they've all been talking about that, they really haven't had a formal national unveiling to the voting public, and that's what this is. It's covered not only by all the cable news networks, but by the broadcast networks, and people who might otherwise be watching a sitcom are actually watching Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan perhaps for the first time in their life. So this is a huge thing, and I think the campaign is not really worried about a one-week bounce. I mean, who cares about a one-week bounce if you just go back down? I think they're worried about making that positive impression that as the campaign goes on is a good foundation for them to work on.
And Alice, recent polling showed that, of course, Americans are by and large familiar with President Obama. They know him. A lot less familiarity with Mitt Romney, although that's changed over the last few months. How does he close that gap, and in a positive way this week?
Well, that's the plan for this week, is to put more of a personal face on him, and as well as Paul Ryan. We're going to see more about the men. We're going to see more about their politics. We're going to see that we can do better as a country. We did build this, and we can change things around. But we're going to see the personal face on them. And the great thing in your Fox poll, a great number in there, is the enthusiasm. Romney's beating Obama in the enthusiasm. And what we're seeing already, as soon as Ryan was announced, the enthusiasm within the party went through the roof. And this week it will just continue to build on that, and the enthusiasm will continue, and that's going to make the difference between now and November. And we're also going to continue to pull in the independents who are going to be key in this election, and that's why this week is going to be critical in defining their politics as well as their persona.
And because it's so critical, Sean, are you worried about losing that first day?
Well, obviously, we'd love a full four-day convention, but I think, as Byron pointed out, we're going to have an opportunity to really introduce Mitt Romney, not just himself, but Mrs. Romney talking on behalf of him, and a lot of governors who've worked with them. And so there's an opportunity to do that over a 3-day period or 2-day period or whatever it ends up being. We've got an opportunity to tell the American people who haven't necessarily sat down and focused on the election. Everyone knows who President Obama is. You're happy with 8.3 unemployment or you're not. You're happy with escalating debt or you're not. This is their chance to say, I want to understand who this guy is, what makes him tick, what his vision for a better tomorrow is, and get to know Paul Ryan as well. But the other thing that's interesting in the polls is it's not just the national polls. You look at the battleground polls in a state like Wisconsin that Barack Obama won by 14 points is suddenly, up 2 points for Mitt Romney. Virginia, North Carolina up, Florida, we have polls up there. So it's these battleground states where you're going to see a lot more of that enthusiasm really propel us forward going out of here. I don't see how the Democrats get any kind of bounce, because when they go to their convention, you know what you got. You either like it or you don't. Nothing's going to change your mind after a couple days of hearing, Jimmy Carter speak.
And Byron, what do you make of these polls that Sean cites? Where we're seeing changes in some of those swing states, and it appears that the Romney-Ryan ticket is getting traction. Are they doing a better job of messaging, or more people tuning in, learning about them? What do you?
Well, I think they are doing a better job. I think everybody's remarked that Mitt Romney seems more lively, seems more on his game when he's with Ryan. I mean, he's energized by this younger guy. I think the last thing about the convention is, even people who are paying attention to politics have heard that Mitt Romney is a felon. He's a tax cheat. He may have killed a woman. The whole idea is to portray Mitt Romney and say, look, this is actually a good man. He's done lots of important things. He's a good man in his personal life. He's not what they've been saying he is. I think that's extremely important for them to say.
And he's got a track record of success. Everything that he has done in the private sector, at the Olympics, and as governor, it's a record of turning things around and getting them working, which is what I think most people in this country are ready for.
We're going to leave it there, but thank you all very much for your time today, and have a great week here in Tampa.
Thanks, Shannon.